We do not know that yet. The police are remaining very tight-lipped, but let's just go through everything chronologically. The police say that on Friday morning, in the early hours of the morning, they received a call from somebody who was at the farm. That prompted the police to go around and visit the farm just outside of Margaret River, a well-renowned wine region here in Australia. When they arrived, they found the bodies of two people, the grandparents who own that property, Peter and Cinda Miles. They believe that Peter Miles was outside on the veranda sitting in a chair. That's where they found him. And inside the house, they found the body of his wife. Now, when they went to a converted barn on the property, they found the bodies of 4 children and their mother. The children aged 8, 10, 12 and 13, and their 35-year-old mother, Katrina Miles, was also found in the house. The reason that they were living there is because the mother had recently split with the father, and so they'd decided that they were going to live in separate locations. The father, Aaron Cockman, is obviously distraught at what has happened, and he's receiving counselling from the police. Now, the police have also revealed that those 3 weapons belonged to the grandfather, Peter Miles. You were asking there whether we know who's done it. The belief here in Australia, or at least what the media is trying to believe, that the suspect is the grandfather, Peter Miles, but we have not received confirmation of that from the police yet. And
as we have been saying, mass shootings are uncommon in Australia. This is the deadliest one since 1996. So what's the reaction been in Australia to this really quite sad case?
It has been really, really shocking, because it was 22 years ago that we had the Port Arthur massacre on the island of Tasmania, just off the south of the Australian mainland, where a gentleman called Martin Bryant went on a killing spree in a popular tourist destination, shot dead 35 people, and that forced the then John Howard government to accelerate its plans for curbs on semi-automatic and automatic weapons. Indeed, what it brought in was a buyback scheme that cost around $260 million to take almost 700,000 weapons off the market. Since then, there have been shootings in Australia, so it's not completely unheard of, but this is the biggest in terms of fatalities. And it has shocked people, especially in the small-knit community of Margaret River, because they don't believe anything that would happen, especially to a family like the Mileses, because they were very involved in community relations. They built up a better community, is what they were saying. Very nice people. The grandmother was involved in knitting circles. So it's complete shock. But it's also complete shock continuing into the weekend, because today is Mother's Day in Australia, a day where mothers are celebrated and mothers who are no longer with us are remembered. And it's particularly acute here in Australia because it's now 2 generations of mothers in this family who are no longer with us.